And welcome back. I'm Jessica Moore, live in North Plainfield, New Jersey, where yesterday's devastating flooding has turned deadly. Homes, businesses, and lives in New Jersey all disrupted and destroyed by Monday's flooding. And now at 5:30, we have a story of sacrifice and survival. Hope for Paws Humane Society here in North Plainfield, devastated by the storms. They lost nearly everything, but all the animals are okay, only because of the courage of people who swam through floodwaters to rescue those animals. Dramatic photos show the devastation inside the animal shelter yesterday. Floodwater filled the building, threatening the defenseless animals trapped inside their cages. Tuesday morning, volunteers brought donations into the shelter as others came for the animals who survived Monday's flooding. The water destroyed almost everything inside: pet food, litter, bedding, supplies. But the most important things were saved because the shelter manager swam to their rescue in the nick of time.
When we originally got the call that the alarms were going off in the building, my director and I immediately knew that we were probably taking in water. What we didn't expect to find when we got here was that the entire building was underwater. We had to actually swim over and wade through water. There was debris everywhere. When we finally got inside, there was no power. It was dark, and the dogs, especially in the back, were up to their chests in water.
The shelter does have needs tonight, including restocking its entire arsenal of cleaning supplies, linens, dog beds. And of course, they're going to need families in this community to foster those sweet animals who were rescued. The flood damage extends beyond just homes, of course. Jenna DeAngelis has the cleanup work being done by business owners in Roselle Park, some of them dealing with this damage for a second time.
The water had to be about here.
Jahia Fields couldn't believe how fast the streets of Roselle Park flooded.
In the blink of an eye, I looked up, and the entire street was a river.
The panic set in watching water enter her new gym, Lift Up Fitness NJ. Her camera playback is sped up, but you can see her trying to mop it out.
This is our baby. We've thrown a lot of work, time, resources into this, and it means so much to us. And you just opened 7 days ago.
Fields has been spending much of Tuesday trying to dry out and assess the damage, hoping to reopen by the end of the week.
Minor setback for hopefully a major comeback.
The business is here on Chestnut Street, where this car was parked during the storm, and you can see by this mark just how high the water rose. This is what it looked like outside Dowling's Irish Pub and Restaurant, and inside, where water was about 6 inches high.
We've been through this before.
Owner Russell Olden says it's reminiscent of Hurricane Ida, which destroyed the restaurant, forcing them to close for 3 years and rebuild.
Fortunately, when we did our construction, we were aware of what happens here, so we were able to work on raising the level of the floor a little bit, preventative measures, putting in pumps.
This time around, they reopened the next afternoon, and supportive customers came in style.
Everyone loves them, and they want them to be open. So I think no matter what happens here, they're going to have a line of people coming in to make sure they're opening the next day if they can.
I've been mayor for 7 years. Last night was just the most sudden storm that I've seen,
which he says the more than 100-year-old infrastructure can't handle.
We spend about $2 million a year in infrastructure. Looking at some of the sewer upgrades that we'd have to do, it's $25 to $30 million, right? So this is stuff that Roselle Park on its own can't afford. We need some help.
In the meantime, the Roselle Park community leans on each other to help weather any storms. Jenna DeAngelis, CBS News, New York.
So the rain has now stopped and the cleanup begins, and a lot of that cleanup really depends on nice weather conditions. With so much still happening, let's check back in with Lonnie Quinn and what type of weather we're expected to see over the next few days. Lon?
Well, today's the best day for any cleanup. I suggest if you have the time, from now into the evening hours, get some work done, because tomorrow's going to come with some possibilities of some wet weather. There's going to be big heat out there tomorrow. Currently, what you don't see in this picture is any rain. That's a good thing. But when I look at the radar picture, and there's not much in our area currently, we got one lone cell up in Ulster County, but the bigger picture shows you what's going on. I often refer to these stationary fronts as train tracks, and you can get showers and storms that move right along it. Well, currently those showers and storms are out around Cincinnati. All of that moves in our direction. So we do have the concern for flooding tomorrow. There's a flood watch that's in effect for a good portion of the area that was hit so hard yesterday, and temperatures are going up as well. So we start dealing with 90-degree readings that could be feeling like the triple digits for your day tomorrow. We're going to be 90. We'll be 91 on Thursday. By Friday, we're about 84. A front's coming through on Friday. We can talk more about all of that. But I do want to talk about how much rain is expected tomorrow. We'll do that. I'm back here, like I said, about 10 minutes or so. Jess, it's all yours.
All right, Lonnie, thank you. Let's bring back in Jessica live in North Plainfield. And Jessica, we've been hearing the stories from all the community members there. One woman that we heard from at the top of the hour seems that she's reached the end of her rope, talking about putting her house on the market. It's just really a time and a sense where you get the feeling that people's lives are upended and it's affecting every aspect of their lives. But talk about how people there are just really banding together in times like this.
No, you said it perfectly, Christine, but anytime we cover a tragedy like this, a devastating weather event, I'm always struck by neighbors helping neighbors. It's a humbling thing to watch. We've seen people help their neighbors pump water out of the basement, drag belongings, just try to dry them out in the sun. Think about that animal shelter. Within just a couple of hours this morning, volunteers and people who had never been to the shelter were coming with donated supplies to help them get back on their feet. And then we also saw the Red Cross out here, because the home that exploded behind me, of course, those folks are not there. But officials tell us that several houses on this street had to be evacuated because of questions over the stability of the home's foundations now. So between the Red Cross, city officials, and then just regular people helping their neighbors out, it's something to see, and it reminds you of the good in humanity. KJ?
Absolutely, and it certainly gives us all hope as well. Jessica, thank you. And of course, we'll continue to follow developments throughout this newscast. And of course, for the latest on the weather and our continuing coverage, just go to cbsnewyork.com.